What?
Text him. Can you text him? Texting's the best way to kind of get
It was
in.
working earlier. I hit stop because he wanted to break up the stream.
Okay. Alright. I just don't see the classic. Do I want to record this too? Sid, are we going to record too? Need to record live output?
He can delete it. Do it to be safe.
Sound check? Let me know when you want to go. Test one, test one. Test one. You never close your eyes.
I'm used to different.
What? I can't hear Jimmy if that means anything.
Yeah. You can hear me? No?
Oh, okay, Zach. How you doing, Zach? This is Bart. Welcome, everybody, to the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Oh, we're here tonight for the Benilde St. Margaret's thrashing of Rochester Lourdes.
Audio. Hey, welcome. Good? All right. Awesome. Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the St. Louis Park Rec Center, Benilde St. Margaret's Hockey.com. As I'm Jimmy Lillidahl with the call alongside Bart Archer. A wonderful night here on a Tuesday and an opportunity to start off the season for Benilde and the Rochester Lourdes.
Yeah, in fact, both teams' first game out of the gates tonight, so it'll be very interesting. Rochester obviously has a challenge in front of them, Jim, as you well know. Graduated Funk and Samuelson last night, graduated 4 players that accounted for 80% of their output as far as goals last year. So scoring goals is going to be a challenge for this Eagle squad, but defense is going to be their strength. 4 of the previous 6 backliners are returning this year, so they're going to rely on their goaltending and team defense to have some success tonight.
Yeah, the Lourdes program, 5 years in a row with a state appearance. You know, you talked about Samuelson and Funk. They're gone. They're going to need someone to step up in that forward role. An opportunity for one of those players here tonight in Game 1, and it's a pretty tough opponent. I mean, Benilde St. Margaret's, it's top shelf all the way across the state of Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. And Benilde St. Margaret's graduated some very high-end talent last year with Bessie, Moore, Laboski moving on. But as we talked about previously, Jim, when one door closes, another one opens, and it really opens the door, so to speak, for guys like Spencer Noss to lead the charge. They obviously have Carter Rua transferred from Totino Grace. He's going to provide some goal-scoring output as well. So the Red Knights actually look pretty formidable on the defensive side. Goaltending has really been the only question because they don't have anybody that's proven at this level, but they're very comfortable with the people that they have on their roster. It's just a question of who's going to step up and take control of the goaltending position.
The location is the St. Louis Park Rec Center. The St. Louis Park Orioles also play here. A single-A high school. Here, the home of the Benilde St. Margaret's. We did plenty of games here last year, and another game coming up next weekend on BenildeStMargaret's.com. So continue to check that out. We'll have statistics for you. We're going to have highlights throughout the game. We can go over that during the intermission, and we even have replay as well. So listeners are going to get the full angle of what's happening tonight. And we're just happy to be here on the first game for both of these clubs. A few of the teams in the state of Minnesota have already started last week, but just getting into the swing of things here on this Tuesday.
Well, most teams starting the season want to get off to a good start. A lot of questions are raised during the training camp, so to speak, process or the tryouts, but a lot of those questions are going to be answered as this year unfolds. But some pretty good hockey leading up to this from some different programs. Edina and Wayzata battling, and to me, that's number 2 and 3 in the state, arguably. But Edina with the victory, White Bear Lake with a big win. So we really have some good things going on. This looks to be a continuation of the same, but I look for the Red Knights to come out of the gates pretty quick. They've been chomping at the bit for a while, Jim.
They have, and Ken Paul, he's been the coach here for so long. He's got a wonderful reputation. He's got the same assistants that he's had for quite some time, and he's got a wonderful reputation of bringing guys in And it's going to be interesting to see some of these sophomores. There's a lot of sophomores on this club. It's going to be interesting who's going to be that guy in 2 years. Who's going to be the Johnny Austin on the blue line leading the way a couple of years from now. There's a lot of names on here. The guys that haven't had some experience. I know one is Zach Risto, one that played in the JV last year, a kid that I've seen play at the AAA level during the summer a couple of years ago. There's some of these 10th graders on this team that could make a splash.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. And that's the thing about the Red Knights. They just continue to roll over. People want to play for this program. They want to play for Coach Pauly. But there's some recognizable names like Will Duda, Nate Meyer. Again, Mark Caskey had a bit of a late season showing. Really came in and did quite well. Evan Fleming, Peter Heimbold. So there is some experience, some youth. It's really a good blend. It kind of gets back to goaltending a little bit because they're so stacked up front and they're sound defensively. Tonight, Jalen Long, the junior goaltender, number 29 in your program, is going to man the nets for this Red Knight squad. Ask Coach Pauly about it. He says he's a very athletic kid, but technically he's a very sound goaltender. He might be tested quite often tonight, but again, if the Red Knights can play a good team defense, that'll limit the second chances, give him a chance to kind of get his feet wet getting into his high school career.
And we'll have to see if the scoring comes in bunches like it came last year from BSM. Again, the Rochester Lourdes, not the biggest cast of names as far as familiarity, but some guys that can make some, like we said, make a splash here, an opportunity to make an impact here on this Tuesday.
Yeah, and they actually have a couple young kids. Montana State, freshman forward, and they also have a youngster named Tucker Chapman, number 9 in the purple tonight. Just a youngster, but they're looking for some offensive output from these. But Griff Slightum, a defenseman, scored 6 goals, kind of the quarterback on that defense. He is going to be called upon. Benilde St. Margaret's really behoove him to stay out of the box tonight. And Cody Cassette, 7 goals last year, 25 games in the secondary role. He's looking at a primary role now. It'll be interesting to see how he responds. But they have a good team. They play a sound defense. That's going to be tested tonight, Jim.
And Cassette's got the C in his sweater, so you're going to hear his name plenty of time. He's going to be getting a lot of ice time up front. He's a big body. As the Rochester Lourdes program takes the ice here, wearing purple, white, and yellow, and the Red Knights, of course, wearing red and white, the traditional look.
And just a little scouting report. In goal tonight, I believe, is going to be Jack Burkell, the junior transfer from Red Wing. And Coach Spaniel said that he's probably the most talented goaltender that he's had in the last 4 years. And that's not to slight the previous regime or the netminders, but he just thinks the world of this young man. He's going to be tested tonight. A couple other things to look for as far as Montana Street. Terrific speed. He has very solid feet. He moves his feet quite well. We'll break down the personnel as this game unfolds, but it looks like everybody's getting ready. We're going to pause for the national anthem. Yeah, Jack Burkle's going to have to mind his side-to-side quite a bit tonight. Dakota Street is going to man one of the points tonight. He is the older brother, Montana Jr. He's going to be challenged tonight. Jake Olney will be his partner on the defensive side. And number 6, Connor Fitzpatrick, senior forward on this team. They're going to really rely quite a bit on the seniors this year because it is a pretty young squad. 7 seniors, 12 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 1 freshman. Nick Austin, just a sophomore this year, got his feet wet a little bit last year, but he's going to assume a bigger role tonight, and I'm sure he's ready for that, to rise to that occasion. And Johnny Austin's going to be his defensive partner, one of the tri-captains on this team. While Jungles, Fleming, and Nass are going to be the front line for this Benilde St. Margaret's team. Spencer Nass, a proven goal scorer. He is looked at as one of the Mr. Hockey finalists going into this season. He's got a big torch to carry, but he's certainly got the broad shoulders to do that. We're going to pause for the national anthem.
The national anthem, a wonderful rendition. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday. The Red Knights season kicks off. The Rochester Lourdes season kicks off, and we're glad you could join us here on BSMHockey.com. The Red Knights wearing red and white, traveling left to right across your computer screen. The Lourdes program doing the opposite and wearing purple, white, and yellow.
Well, I think the key to the Lourdes game tonight, or the Lourdes game tonight, is going to be just spacing and positioning and taking the angles. They just can't get overwhelmed by Benilde St. Margaret's team speed. They have to be very poised when they lead the offensive zone as far as pacing. Neutral zone is going to obviously be a key for both teams tonight. Benilde St. Margaret's very good at controlling the puck with speed and putting the defenders on their heels. So the forwards for Lourdes is going to have to come back and help out. It's going to have to be team defense tonight for this Eagle team to have success.
Going to have to see some energy early on from the purple, because the Red Knights, this top unit here, very, very potent with Spencer Nass leading the way.
And Johnny Austin in the back, it really diversifies their attack and changes the dynamic on how this Eagle team's going to have to defend. But possession, very important. Benilde St. Margaret's likes to hold the puck. It's just a question if the Eagles are going to get a chance to possess as well.
And we're underway officially. Making the first play is Johnny Austin. And issued to center. Here comes Spencer Nass down the right wing. Nass throws it through the crease. Comes out to the left half wall, played back for Austin. He'll wind and fire, and a save as it squirts to the far corner. Here's Jungles, back for Austin. Another shot, and a save as it goes back to the corner. Here's Fleming trying to wheel a cycle. That was intercepted, and Fleming trying to play it down further as it's gathered here by Cody Cassette. He bumps it off the end wall, and the Lourdes program trying to exit early on here. Fleming trying to wind it deeper. Check thrown there by Jungles. Line was held momentarily. And right back into the Lourdes end. The Red Knights going with some changes here. Centering was Fleming. Nass on his backhand. Couldn't squeeze it through. A couple of shots early on here for the Red Knights. Puck on to center ice. And a regroup here as Caskey plays it back for the defense. Sent back this way. And sent back down the wall by Mayer. Centering feed was broken up, and here comes Roth the other way. Roth, a 2-on-1, centering feed shot. Ooh, it hit the doorbell. Kind of a change-up shot, didn't come in very quickly, and a whistle here as the net was off the moorings.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a little bit of an off-speed shot. I don't think he got quite the lumber on it that he wanted, but again, Long got at least a look at the puck early, but good pressure by Benilde St. Margaret's. They basically got it in deep and frustrated this Eagle squad. They couldn't get out of their zone, but then came back with an odd man rush. If Benilde St. Margaret's affords you that odd man rush, you have to at least put good pressure on, and that's exactly what the Eagles did.
Nate Myers line out there. Here's a big body as he battles in that far wall. That was Caskey throwing the check. And a loose puck here. Trying to pull it back, sent back to the slot. Shot on from shallow angle and another save And seeing some pucks early is Burkle. He's already seen 5 or 6.
Yeah, and they've been in tight too, Jim, no question. But Nate Meyer, nice wherewithal, good vision. Saw young Carter Rue on the wing, got him the puck. Not a good angle, but he got a good shot off. I think one thing Carter Rue's got to do is don't be afraid to be a little selfish. The propensity being on a new team is to give the puck up. If you get a shot, you have to take it. He'll learn that as this game unfolds.
Centering feed, sent just wide by the stick that was held by Heimbold. Shot from the left point, check that right point was blocked, and back down to the corner, centering again, but knocked away. Red Knights setting up here on the top of the blue line. On the near wall here, gathered at center. That's Risto. Risto sends it back in, comes off for a change. Burkle out of his cage, keeps the puck behind the net, controlled here in the near corner by the Red Knights. That's Will Duda. Duda unable to control, back up the wall, and it's at center. Nas unable to get it on his forehand. And the return in front of the Red Knights bench. Instead, it's going to be a regroup. And Johnny Austin, side to side for his brother Nick. Ooh, offsides as Fleming's shot whistled high and wide. And a face-off here at center ice in front of the Rochester bench.
Well, pretty good job of possession by the Red Knights tonight. They're moving the puck and actually forcing Eagles to skate. What they're doing is they're kind of overcompensating. They're tending to drift, and they're losing their positional integrity. They have to be cognizant of their spacing and their gap control. So far, obviously it's a challenge, but they haven't done too poorly, but there's room for improvement.
Played in by Karstens. Montana Street wraps it back up the near wall. Nick Roth able to pinch in and hold the line. And deposited back to the half wall. Check there was Street. Left in the near corner. Rochester on the attack. Picked up by Spencer Noss. He issues for Johnny Austin. Austin taking his time as he exits the Red Knight end. Long pass ahead for Noss, and he could not get his twig on it. 13:53 to go in this opening stanza, still scoreless.
Well, it's going to go down as an icing, but Nas was that stretch forward, really putting some pressure on the back line of the Eagle defenders, and that's going to be something where they might get some residual effect down the way, but not a bad idea. They just couldn't connect. Face off now to Long's left.
And 4 bodies out there for Rochester. They will need a 5th, and the late enter here is Lars Anderson. Check that, it's going to be Peter Alexander, the sophomore. Brought behind the net by the Red Knights, and here's the big body. I believe that's Mayer. Nate Mayer gets it to center, off the body of Newhouse, and controlled here by Dakota Street. Street, pass up the middle for Adamson. Adamson didn't have the angle at center. Meyer trying to work it on for Kasky. Left side, shot deflected up and over the cage. Rue was the shooter. And the Lourdes trying to work it off the far wall. Gloved and knocked down and neatly held on that left point by Kasky. Back to the front, but another blocked shot by the Lourdes. Defense, Rue trying to play it back to the corner. Rue trying to get it towards Kasky. Turnover in front. Meyer couldn't get it on his forehand. And sent in on the Rochester bench. Great pressure by the Red Knights.
Absolutely. In fact, we know about the first line of Benilde St. Margaret's, the Noss line, but I think this line of Nate Meyer, Carter Rue, and Mark Kasky is going to be one line that other teams are going to have to really dedicate themselves to defend. They seem like they're comfortable with each other. They move the puck quite well, and they're getting opportunities every time they touch the puck.
Heimold was able to win the draw for the Red Knights. Risto issues rink wide. As Risto's checked at center ice, I believe that was Cassette issuing the shoulder. And then sent back into the Rochester end. Elevated to center. Loose puck. Cassette had it stripped by Heimbold, who plays forward and defense here as just a sophomore for the Red Knights. And another regroup. Lawton back this way. That's Risto. Risto tried to shallow angle pass for Heimbold. Unable to get him. Back to the corner this way. Red Knights trying to work it out. And a big body thrown on the end wall. Some fans wanting a call, not getting one on transition. Here comes Heimold. And Heimold will play it in comfortably, and the Red Knights will change all 5. Turned over in front. Backhander gathered. And played on to center ice. Played right back in by Nick Austin. 2 forecheckers in for the Red Knights. Loose puck in the corner. Jack Sims, one of the biggest bodies out there wearing white, battling on the end wall, and support coming from Holmers. And the exit here for Lourdes on to center ice. Unable to exit cleanly, just a couple of shots for Rochester here. As Nick Austin skates the puck to center ice, just one shot. As this one sent in, tough position there for Burkle, stuck out of his cage. Sims back behind the goal. Now to the left point, Johnny Austin to the far circle. Now right point, Nick Austin, Johnny Austin holding the line, but just barely. Holmers played it behind the goal, but no one back there for the Red Knights. Played to center, Nick Austin with a tight gap. Puck slides behind the goal. Here's John Austin for Nick Austin. The brothers play pitch and catch, and up and out of play. A whistle here with 10:41 to go in the first period, still scoreless.
Yeah, in fact, a bit of a dangerous pass by young Austin on that one. Cross-ice pass, you got to put a little zip on it. The important part is Rochester actually had a pretty good sustained forecheck. They just couldn't do the tic-tac-toe, but they need some offensive zone time. But with the way that the Benilde St. Margaret's backline has been moving the puck and getting it out of the zone, chances are going to be few and far between. You have to take advantage when you can.
Fleming from a shallow angle. He had Newhouse to the near side rushing in. Here's Naas behind the cage trying to create. Naas on his backhand, pulls it to his forehand, issues to the left point. Shot deflected as it's flexed to the corner. Here's Jungles. Jungles still controlling, couldn't hold the line. And a regroup here at center. Newhouse back for Jungles. Jungles has the gap, right circle. Jungles, he hit the point. He tried to go high. And the net comes off the moorings with 9:59 to go in the opening period.
Yeah, in fact, Jungles didn't have a lot to look at, but he knew where he wanted to go. Glove side, short side, just under the crossbar. And I think he actually hit where the crossbar meets the post, so he wasn't far off. Rochester's spacing is a little bit better in their zone. They're defending a little better, forcing things to the outside, keeping things below the goal line, at least protecting the goaltender, Burkell, in front of the net. And that's a good sign for Coach Spaniel.
So a couple of pipes so far. Meyer tried to pull it through the defense and could not. And a rush here for Rochester. Play to the front. Tough defense there by the Red Knights. And tight gaps, I should say. This puck's deflected into the student section just below our broadcast location.
Well, pretty good job by Dakota Street gaining the zone, and he went one-on-one. What might have been the call to order on that one is take the shot, use the defender as a screen, and then charge the net and look for a rebound. But it's a positive. They absolutely had possession going in, had a good opportunity, but good defensive play by Benilde St. Margaret's once again in their own zone.
Drew out there with Fleming and Caskey. Play to the corner. And unable to complete the pass at center, and played up and out, I should say.
Well, I think that was Newhouse that tried to clear that puck. If Benilde St. Margaret's, they've been known to go side to side. If you're going to do that, you really have to put some smoke on that puck, because things can happen. He almost jumped into the play and maybe had a good shot. Just unfortunately deflected out of play for the Eagles. Face-offs outside the Benilde St. Margaret's zone. 9:24 left in a scoreless first period.
This one looks like it'll go for icing. No, apparently it won't. Nice rush there by the Red Knights. That was Newhouse getting to that one and winning the foot race. To the corner, centering. Squirts back to the line. Newhouse, glove save, and he's able to hold on. That was Burkle.
And that's what the junior goaltender is going to have to do. They were at a point of vulnerability. Too many guys bunched up in front, but he had good sight lines with that puck and tracked it all the way in glove save. Elected to hold on to it, get some fresh legs out there. Faceoff's going to be to his left. But really, that's the kind of save that Coach Spaniel needs out of his goaltender, especially tonight, just fresh out of the gates, first game of the year.
Nick Austin could not hold the line. It hopped his twig, sent back up the near wall here. And Nick Austin able to work it ahead. Here comes Spencer Naas down the right side. Naas was the shooter. I don't know if it was deflected. Apparently it was. It'll be an offensive zone draw here for Benilde, and it'll come in the near circle.
It was Jake Only that actually had the busy stick out in front of Naas. Naas had the glove side upper corner. I don't know if they seem to have a book on Burkell. They just are in love with that upper corner, but good busy stick by the Eagles to force that face-off and a potential scoring opportunity for the Red Knights. Here's
Jungles centering. Fleming couldn't get it through. And Burkle has had some shots and he's had some nice saves so far, and it's no mystery. He knew he was going to see pucks headed into this one.
Yeah, and that was good side-to-side by Burkle on that one. Chase Jungles on the one side. Sent it over. The puck just didn't get over there quick enough, but allowed the goaltender to make a nice side-to-side save. Again, face-off to the left of the Rochester goaltender.
Duda, Risto, and Heimbold out there. And here's John Austin issuing to center. And picked up by Kasky. Kasky sends it in. Here's Heimbold. Heimbold on the end wall. Picked up here by Montana Street. Street slicing through center. Issues right side. And play to the corner here by Chapman. Chapman throwing his shoulder. Off the back of the goal. Now to the far wall. John Austin. And to center. Picked up here by Risto, who escapes a check. Risto center. Shot missed. No, I don't know if they had a tip on that one, as it came through the crease quickly, as Risto was the passer. Sent in from neutral. Newhouse to the corner. Lawton plays the puck to center ice, and a whistle here. And it looks like there may be too many men on the ice for the Lourdes program, and we'll have to wait and see what the call is.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, Jim. Pretty good eyes. A lot of purple out there on that one. But really some good things by Rochester, especially on that forecheck going against Johnny Austin. And he did a good job of positioning his body, separating Austin from the puck, but it just they couldn't make it click. That's something maybe the fourth or fifth game into the year, something might happen. First game, a little bit of rust on the ice on both sides, but Benilde St. Margaret's getting in between the hash marks. They just haven't been able to connect so far. But that's going to put Benilde St. Margaret's on a power play. Don't have anything to judge from, but generally they run around a 30-40% clip, so they're going to have to mind their P's and Q's.
John Austin back this way. Spencer Noss off the near perimeter. Goal line. Back for Noss. Noss shooting. Glove save as he fired that one quickly from the top of the near circle.
Well, pretty good save, actually. It might have been a wide shot, but whenever a goaltender gets a chance to possess the puck, he's going to take advantage of that, especially a man down 15 seconds off the power play, minute 45 left. 7:22 left in the scoreless first period. Red Knights on the power play.
John Austin on the top of the umbrella. Goes right side. Noss back up top with Austin. Trying to go goal line on the near side here. That was Rue down there. And turned over and cleared as it drizzles into the Benilde end. A regroup here for Austin. He's going to take his time. The first one in is Fitzpatrick as he takes out Austin. Fitzpatrick issues another check. And some nice solid pressure here by the purple and gold. Noss turned the puck over, able to get it right back. And he wires this one deep. Foot race. Jungles could not get there in time. Line held by Austin. And the Red Knights setting up off the far wall. Shot on rebound. Noss scores! Noss puts it in, and the Red Knights lead 1-0.
Well, that was after some good work by the Eagles killing that penalty, but Chase Jungles got it over to Spencer Noss, and Noss open net just looking at him. He made that count. That's what goal scorers do. Right place, right time. Good pressure. It was for a period of time a pretty good penalty kill by the Eagles. Line changes, get the puck deep, but Benilde comes back and they strike so quick. Now the interesting part is how the Eagles are going to respond back to 5-on-5 after being scored on. It was just a situation that you could feel kind of building to a paramount, and they just cashed one in. Spencer Noss, first goal of the year. We're going to say that many times tonight as far as him on the score sheet.
That we will. Number 8, getting his first goal of the season, and it will not be his last.
No.
And we said that last year about a player that goes by the name of Grant Bessie.
Yeah.
Here comes Newhouse. Newhouse centering feed. They score! This time it's homers.
They're going to wave it off.
May have been kicked in.
Yeah, that's exactly what the call was, Jim. But that's how Benilde St. Margaret's handles, their offensive play. They score, everybody gets excited, the other team lags a little bit. So the fact that it's not going to count as a goal is going to be obviously a feather in the Eagles' cap, but they still have to roll up their sleeves and get back to work and defend against this Benilde St. Margaret's team that's starting to get momentum as this period starts to get older.
It's one thing I really like about Ken Pauly's team. They get a goal, they're going to take that energy and they're going to use it to their advantage.
Well, it just gets to a point where everybody's energy takes a step up and the other team dips. It's a perfect time to get a team when they're vulnerable, and Benilde St. Margaret's, they're about as good as anybody at that.
Newhouse's shot was blocked. Meyer backhander saved. He scores. He put it through from an impossible angle. The Red Knights up 2-0. They come in bunches.
Well, if you're a defenseman in purple and you see a white jersey between you and the goal down low, you know you're in trouble. The first chance the goaltender made the same, but the follow-up chance seemed to elude the goaltender, found its way to the back of the net. Now it's 2-0, 5:42, and obviously the momentum is on Benilde St. Margaret's side. Something positive has to happen for the Eagles. They don't need to score, but they need to possess a puck and at least put some pressure on Jalen Long. The junior goaltender hasn't seen a lot of action tonight, and that could be a point of concern for Coach Pauly as well.
And if you're Rochester and you get an odd-man rush, I'd keep it simple because you might not get a lot of opportunities. Just get that thing on net. It doesn't have to be pretty. And here come the Red Knights again. To the corner. Deflected back to the line. Austin issues for Risto. Risto back behind the goal. Puck to the near corner and sent off the glass. Line was held. And puck in the corner. Body thrown there by Caskey. Risto turns the fire and sent back the other way. And Lourdes changing all 5 as they hit the red line and send it in deep. Nick Austin for Zach Risto. Risto's pass was intercepted by Cassette as it's played rink wide for Nick Austin. He issues to center. Caskey with a nice little feed for Heimold, who is checked, and he's going to come off for a change. Risto, the first one in for the Red Knights. Risto on the forecheck, getting some support here. Risto's coming off for the late change. And the puck deflected into the Benilde end. Jack Lawton, long feed to center. Jungles could not get around the defense. And a body thrown just below us by Fleming. Nas puts on the brakes, surveys, tries to pull it back, and loses the puck to center ice. And a regroup here. Lawton leading this one. Turned over. Here comes Team Purple, shot, and a nice save, as the shooter there was Nick Roth. Centering feed, rebound, backhander, sent just wide. That was Mason Karstens, and Karstens has Montana Street picking it up. Now to the right point, shot deflected, and to the near circle. Couple of shots there for Rochester.
Yeah, really some nice work down low. In fact, they were taking the puck off Benilde St. Margaret defender's stick. They got about 4 or 5 good chances. That's the positive that they need. Now you can feel their energy level raise just a little bit in the waning moments of this first period.
That was a nice shift by Nick Roth, getting a couple of offensive opportunities the other way, and it's put in. That was a high shot by Holmers, and he finds Twine.
Boy, and that was just on top of the circle, too. It went glove side just under the crossbar. There was no deflection, no mistake about that. As good things that happened for the Eagles, the Benilde St. Margaret's comes back and puts one in. Boy, that's got to be a little deflating. Now it's 3-0, 3:28 left. 3 goals in the last 3.5 minutes. Benilde St. Margaret seems to be finding their stride right now. It's up to Rochester to just answer the call and get out of this period and regroup a little bit.
Sent in by Jack Sims, the Red Knights. Rochester unable to exit. Right circle shot. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Red Knights are shooting high. Austin keeps it low. It was deflected towards the near wall. Jack Sims to the corner. That was Moore. Turned over. Here's Moore again. Moore shot to the corner. Holmers dancing, able to find some space. Wheels the cycle. Sims tried to center. Burkle knocked it away. Now to the right point. Austin. Nick Austin shot. Rebound. Moore tried to go 5-hole. Augie Moore, right point. Nick Austin shot was deflected just wide. Here's Moore. Moore spinning away from traffic. Down the near wall. Moore tried to get it to the left point for Austin, and he has to retreat onto center. This is John Austin. Now it's Nick Austin as he winds it in deep. Meyer rushing in. Big body in the corner, battling with Cassette. Centering feed goes back to the right point. Shot deflected just up and over the cage. The shooter was Callinger. Battle in front of the Rochester bench, a stalemate. Pushed off the play was Cassette. Body thrown in front of the Benilde bench. And taken on here by Caskey. Caskey heading north, down the far wall. Caskey unable to get through the defense. And Rochester on it here. Not a lot of energy, though. They got to get this line off. Risto gets the return off of Rochester's stick. Here comes Rue. Rue went to center, deflected back towards Rue. And Rue tried to squeeze it through for Callinger. Now it goes to the far wall for Caskey. And back the other way comes Rochester. That was Roth, I believe. He loses it and sent right back behind Burkle. Burkle leaving the puck here for Dakota Street. Street on to center. Pass was intercepted. Here comes Fleming. Fleming, high slot, couldn't get a shot off. Sends it back this way.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
As the line could not be held. Here comes Cassette the other way. Cassette shot, left pad save. As we mentioned earlier, Jalen Long has not had a lot of traffic. Here comes Noss the other way. It's a 3-on-1. Noss shooting, save under Burkle. And the net came off the moorings. 41 seconds left in the period. Back and forth action.
Boy, it really started with a good save. It was glove side low, but he kicked the pad out. Jalen Long is who I'm speaking with. And in transition, Benilde came down 3-on-1. Noss elected to take that shot and then crash the net. And even the defenseman for Benilde tried to follow up the play. So they're playing with a lot of confidence and might leave themselves some vulnerability. But one thing that the Eagles want to do is get out of this period where they sit right now. Perhaps punch one in, but 41 seconds. You don't want to make a mistake in the closing moments of the first period.
Austin with a quick shot off the draw. He's the left defenseman. And he kept it low, looking for a rebound as the puck goes to center. Austin turning away from a body, trying to work it up the wall. Nice play by Fitzpatrick. He feeds it ahead for Street. And Street couldn't keep the rush ahead for Rochester. And the intended recipient through center was Duda. He couldn't control. He is here. Heimold in the corner, centering and unable to pull it through. Again, that was Will Duda. Back into the Benilde end. That's going to pretty much do it for this first period. It's a 3-0 lead for the Red Knights. And a lot of goals in a small period of time.
Yeah, and a lot of posts through the course of the first period as well. But if you're Rochester, you're coming into a hostile environment playing against one of the premier programs in the state. I think they weathered the first probably 7 to 8 minutes really pretty well. They gave up some opportunities, but they weathered the storm. But then Benilde St. Margaret's, once they got that one, it seemed to let the floodgates open a little bit. Lourdes kind of got back on their heels a little bit. And to goaltender Jack Burkle's defense, if you get too many shots during the period and they beat you glove side, you either tend to go down a little earlier or you back up into your crease and give them a little bit more to look at. And I think that's what the consequence was for that third Benilde St. Margaret's goal. But again, as far as Lourdes, there were some good things that actually happened. They just have to clear their zone, play a little bit more efficient, and don't bunch up. Don't give them too much room. But some things to work on. But they were struggling with line changes, getting the fresh bodies out there. Now we're into the second period, Jim. It's a little bit longer of a line change, and with all the play in their own zone, that might be a challenge that Coach Spaniel is going to have to address going into the second period. Down 3-0. All is not lost, but good energy, good compete from the Eagles. But Benilde St. Margaret seems to be finding their stride.
So it's a 3-0 lead after one stanza of play here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. We're going to step away for a couple of moments. Keep it here on Benilde St. Margaret's Hockey.com. Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome back, hockey fans. Great to have you with us here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center, taking a look at some of the highlights here in the first period.
Yeah, the first one we're going to see is at the 10:32 mark. Carter Rue actually started the play, got it to Jungles over to Spencer Noss, and you can see little different replay. This is actually, I think, on the third goal from Holmers, or that was the Nate Meyer goal. But at 10:32 was Spencer Noss from Jungles and Rue, and that one was on the power play. And then we're going to see another one at the 11:18 mark. There you can see the Selly after, but it's in the 11:18 mark. It was Meyer from Rue again, and that was Meyer's first goal of the season, Rue's second assist of the campaign going into it. Final goal was actually Jacob Holmers at the 13:32 mark from Meyer. Meyer with a goal and an assist, Rue with 2 assists. Jacob Holmer, the sophomore, looked very poised out there, and we're going to be hearing from him as this night goes on, playing a very inspired brand as it stands. But 3-0 is where we are, Jim, going into this second period.
Yeah, that first goal was so intriguing. It was from the near circle here. Noss was the shooter. He didn't have the best angle. He hit the pipe, but he still found Klein.
Yeah, and that's what goal scorers do. They get those not lucky breaks, but good, fortunate breaks on that one. But he was all alone on that side. But like you said, Jim, not from a good angle. If it were me, I would have shot it 3 feet wide. But goal scorers like Spencer Noss make it count, put a straight line on the scoreboard. And I think that's what they need to kind of get the energy going.
Red Knights making the first play. Noss could not control the feed at center, and Cassette plays it in for Rochester. Newhouse, looking through center. He thought he had Noss. This one goes all the way in on Burkle, who holds.
Well, the thing that I liked about that is they're varying their zone exit. It's not always going up the right side or the left side, punching it up the middle. Will soften things up and give them something else to think about. So the nice part about it, on goal faceoff, is going to be now to Burkell's left, just getting started in the second period. But line changes because of the proximity of the benches are going to be a challenge for both teams.
21 seconds in, and the Red Knights change their defensive core as this one's played in by Jungles. Burkle had to pull that in to his catching gloves as he sits on this one. 16:24 here in the second frame.
Yeah, and I think Burkle's going to continue to do that all night. If he can get his hand or a mitt on it, he's going to freeze that puck. But there were a couple Red Knights waiting in the wings, so it was a good decision by the Eagle goaltender.
Puck behind the Rochester net. And as it goes to center, Red Knights back on it. Here comes the big body, Meyer. Tried to squeeze that one through for Kasky, who did not have the angle. And picked up here by Rue. Rue back behind the goal. He gives the puck to Kasky. Now to the right point. That's Nick Austin. Wrist shot, pad save, rebound, another save. Burkle makes 2 more if you want to count it. He gets it with his blocker off the pad, net off the moorings, and a whistle here with 15:50 to go in the second.
Boy, and you can see why Coach Josh Spaniel's excited about this young man. Good side-to-side, being challenged on the far post, came over, made the save, made the follow-up save, and deflected the rebound back behind the goal line, knocked the net off the moorings, face off to his right. Not a bad play by the Lourdes goaltender.
That's a 50-50 puck that the Lourdes Rochester was able to take over. Back to the slot, unable to get a shot off. That time it was Risto. He just kind of picked up the loose puck and got it on net quickly.
Well, and it was really good wherewithal by Risto on that one. Didn't have time to make any moves. He just put that puck on net. But nice job by Burkle to hold on and limit what could have been a pretty dangerous second chance opportunity.
Risto on the far wall, trying to cycle the puck. I believe he was trying to get it towards Heimwald. Newhouse couldn't hold the line as it's played in from center ice by Fitzpatrick. Action on the near wall. Cycling the puck was Olney. Turning the other way, that was Kasky. Sent back to the corner as Lawton wraps the puck around for Newhouse, the junior captain, who issues to center. Kasky has to pull it through as he was flat-footed trying to control. And Newhouse throwing a check, Risto throwing a check. Puck squirts to the near corner, and it's controlled by Kasky. Kasky protecting here. Couple of Eagles on him. Penalty here on the Red Knights. It may be Will Duda who is the guilty party.
Well, and again, pretty good pressure by Benilde St. Margaret's really kept Lourdes kind of fighting the puck a little bit in their own zone, but we are going to have a penalty, and it's to Spencer Noss, no less. So this is the opportunity that the Eagles have been looking for. Get a chance to possess the puck with a man advantage in the faceoff all the way down in the Benilde St. Margaret Red Knights zone. Faceoffs become very important for this Eagles team.
Nick Roth out there with Cody Cassette and Connor Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, just Noss with a little check from behind on that one. Going to go for 2 minutes. Feels shame, and then they'll release him. But 14:45 left in the second period. Benilde up by 3, but Lourdes on the power play now. Face-offs very important, but they just have to possess the puck, Jim. Just get comfortable with the puck. Make Benilde St. Margaret's work for it. Make them play positionally sound, but get it in and challenge young Jalen Long in goal and really make them work.
Rochester setting up in the power play. Nick Roth up top.
Nobody in front of the net.
And yeah, Rochester with the funky start here, able to get a body down there now. Shot coming through, looking for a tip. I'm not sure if he got one in front. And Fitzpatrick goes back to the point. This way, Cassette shot was blocked by Fleming's skate. And action in the near wall here. This is a log jam in the corner. Cassette from the blue line, now to the goal line, centering but just wide, as the shooter there was Olney. Cassette issues to the line. Alexander fires a clap bomb that was blocked. Another shot deflected in the near corner. Fleming a chance to clear. He goes to center. And here come the Red Knights shorthanded. Caskey unable to control on the end wall. And Caskey was tripped up by the blue line. Here comes, the Eagles, another call here on the Red Knights. This makes it a 5-on-3 for 49 ticks.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be Nick Austin just on zone entry. Got a stick in an area that it shouldn't have been, but that's a credit to Rochester. If you skate with possession and get some speed through the neutral zone, you're going to force Benilde St. Margaret's to make a decision at the blue line. And, boy, they put it up on the Rochester side. It's going to be a 5-on-3, as you said, Jim. But this, again, is a golden opportunity. Just 49 seconds left in the initial penalty to Spencer Noss. Boy, if they can punch one in initially early and then go back on the power play 5-on-4, things could change in a hurry. But obviously they're just looking for something positive to happen, but an offensive zone faceoff for the Rochester Lourdes Eagles.
Crunch time, Rochester. It'd be huge if they could get one here, an inch within 2.
Well, the important part, Jim, in my eyes, is 5-on-3. People have a tendency to stop skating, and they just they let the puck do the work. But if you can skate and let the puck do the work, you're going to have a far greater chance for success.
Number 25, Nick Austin, 2 minutes, hooking.
Yeah, hooking was a call on Nick Austin.
Montana Street pulls it to his forehand, issues to the left point, back to the right. Street, goal line extended. Cassette back behind the wall, or behind the cage, back to the near wall. Cassette, top of the far circle, back this way. Street, goal
Penalty.
line.
Another one on Benilde.
Wow. Turning, firing, glove save. Ooh, pushing and shoving in front. And a couple of bodies going down. Dakota Street was the shooter. And
Well,
the clock is running. This is going to be a disaster here.
Yeah, it's kind of a disaster in the making right now, but I think Benilde St. Margaret's really has to take special attention to play with a little bit more discipline. That's been their Achilles heel last year. Hopefully it doesn't carry over into this year, but taking penalties upon penalties and putting themselves behind the 8 ball. But one thing Rochester can't do is get involved in the after-whistle extracurriculars, especially when you have a 5-on-3 and another penalty actually waiting in the wings. But 3 Benilde St. Margaret's in the penalty box right now. They're going to get the clock part figured out, but somewhere in the 12-13 minute mark is what's left, and we don't really know as far as the penalties, but we'll sort that out. But what a great opportunity for the Eagles at this juncture.
Ken Pauley is not happy. And then Josh Spaniel on the right side just having a conversation with the troops, a chance to reel them in here, kind of get a free timeout.
Yeah.
Get the guys to relax a little bit. You're going to have plenty of time with the man advantage or the 2-man advantage.
Right. You have to have patience, but you have still a certain amount of I want to say immediacy. You want something good to happen, but a couple big boppers in the penalty box for Benilde St. Margaret's as far as Nick Austin, Spencer Noss, and now Benny Newhouse, and those are some pretty key players in this arsenal for the Red Knights, but they're going to spend some time in the box. And again, like you said, Josh Spaniel can get everybody on the same page. He's got the whiteboard out trying to diagram plays. But one thing I want to kind of keep an eye on during this power play is you can't spend too much time on the periphery. You have to get in tight between the dots, between the hash marks. You have to really make them collapse and defend. That'll free up the periphery. That's when you go back out. But again, working the puck, I think is the important part. But working it with a little sense of urgency, I think, is the called order.
I think the last call I think was on Nick Austin.
The very last call was actually on Ben Newhouse. But Austin had the one before with the hook coming into the zone, already being a man down.
They call a trip or what was it?
And Nass had one as well.
I don't know what they called the Newhouse penalty. We're still waiting for an announcement, but I think the Nass penalty was interference. The Austin penalty was for hook, and the other one is a wait and see. But just 9 seconds left in the initial penalty. I think it figured it out to Spencer Nass, and it's still going to be a 5-on-3. But it'll be interesting in how he's going to actually come out of the box because there's still 2 men down, so they might not release Nass until the following whistle, so he could spend some additional time in the box beyond that 9 seconds.
And there's no more room left in that Red Knight penalty box.
No.
Kind of looks like the junior level over
Standing
here.
room only, you're right. But this is the challenge that Benilde St. Margaret has to get through. They haven't had too many challenges tonight. When they've been challenged by this Eagles squad, they've risen to the occasion. And when they haven't, Jalen Long has actually stepped up and really helped his team out. But this is the first challenge that Benilde's going to have to face of significance so far. But, boy, let's get this thing going. Let's drop the puck.
Yeah, Spaniel's bringing his troops back towards his bench, and I really like this. You take a look down in situations like this, and what do you see? You see Cody Cassette, senior captain, talking to the boys, talking about where to shoot, what happens in certain situations, and Cassette with the C in his sweater here. This is where they need his leadership on this big 5-on-3.
That's an exceptional point, especially with all the graduation of the previous. This is kind of new for them being on the power play. And like we said, it was always Funk and Samuelson and Weir and Krecky. Now it's a new regime. They're getting their feet wet, but a leader steps up at those particular times. Good call, Jim.
And the Eagles control off the near wall. Montana Street goes to his brother Dakota. Back for Montana. Goal line extended. It was Cassette centering feed. Shot, save, rebound. Oh, they couldn't put it through. Oh, it was tight quarters, and Cassette didn't have the angle.
Well, I don't know if that's what they drew up on the whiteboard, but that worked almost to perfection. They got the shot that they wanted on top of the left side dot, just on top of the hash. He put some mustard on it. Good save by Long. But it was actually an Eagles player that knocked the net off the mooring, but was he initiated by Benilde, I think is what they're discussing right now. It's outside the zone, so that would indicate that it was actually an Eagle that knocked the net off the mooring. Not a good time to take a whistle and have the face-off outside the zone. They looked like they were really had pretty good focus, and execution was there.
Best scoring opportunity of the night for the purple and gold.
Oh, no question. There was one a little earlier, but it wasn't the sustained planned pressure. It was more spontaneous. This one was actually well thought out and very well executed as well.
Nine shots for the Eagles.
Yeah, in fact, they started with 6, so that was a pretty good little flurry right there. But again, good job by Jalen Long to keep his focus. It seemed like Benilde St. Margaret's was collapsing. If you're going to collapse in your own zone in front of your goaltender, you have to take the time or at least have the presence of mind to get in front and block that shot. But it makes the sidelines awful tough for the young goaltender. Now, we'll get started here any time here.
Waiting for the jeopardy here. But if you're, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is to your advantage if you're Benilde. I mean, Rochester could be overthinking it at this point. I mean, they still have a 5-on-3 for 51 ticks, and I don't even know what the stoppage is for.
Neither do I, actually. Well, the net coming off the mooring, but why did they have to deliberate about that? But I think it's good for Benilde because they can rest their ones and really put their best penalty killers out there or their best skaters.
Loose puck in the far corner, controlled by Fitzpatrick. He issues to the line, Dakota Street, Montana Street, back behind the goal for Cassette, the captain for the Eagles. Cassette wrapped up, issues, tight quarters back there, but he pulls it to his forehand. Cassette Cycle, centering, shot, rebound. Oh, back to the right circle, and Street couldn't hold on.
Second great opportunity where the puck has hopped over the twig.
Turned over. Oh, Nas tried to put it through. Long shot. Oh, no, he was offside. Nas was offside.
Oh, indeed. In fact, they know that. I don't know why he's celebrating. That was just a very easy call to make. The only thing is that you actually, got the shot on goal. But bless his heart, Jack Lawton. We'd love to give you a counter on that one, but Spencer Noss was deep in the zone, so that's going to be an offside outside the zone. Just 9 seconds left in the Mayer penalty, then 1:10 left on the Newhouse penalty. And it just seems like they're weathering the storm. Now we're going to call a timeout because we have other things we need to talk about, apparently.
Well, I tell you what, that current situation that we just saw where someone fires it in a net where someone hasn't taken up, I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I don't think I have either.
And the probability of that in a hockey game?
Well, and not only that, but being 2 men down, and to me that's an intentional offsides, which would bring the faceoff all the way down in your own zone, which puts your team to a vulnerable area. You had possession of the puck. There was no immediate threat. Hang on to the puck. Maintain possession, work the clock a little bit, scoring, in that respect. But Jack Lawton has been a very good player on this team, and I can't say I would have done anything different at that, but you just have to take a moment and have the wherewithal to know the situation that you've been put in front of and react accordingly. But if they should rule that an intentional offsides, and in my eyes, that should come all the way down into the Red Knight zone for an offensive zone faceoff for a team that has a 5-3 advantage on the ice.
And it is just unbelievable how this game has really just kind of slowed down since that initial Spencer Noss penalty. I mean, there's 11:45 left to play in the second period. Plenty of hockey left to play.
Right, it seems like a basketball game.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, actually.
The last couple of minutes then.
Didn't mean to say that. I apologize.
John Austin, long wrister to kill some more time, and it'll make it a 5-on-4. It's now just a man advantage for the Red Knights. Or check that for the Eagles. And here's Dakota Street. Has to recoil here at center. Pressure from Noss. As it's sent ahead, broken up by John Austin. Trying to clear is Nick Austin. Now John Austin can clap this one. It's deflected to the ceiling. And a whistle here.
And it just missed the state championship banner for Benilde St. Margaret's in 2012. What a great exhibition and team that was. Last year's was a great one. This one, from the looks of it so far, Jim, obviously it's pretty early to tell, but this is going to be a pretty entertaining Benilde St. Margaret Red Knights squad for the 13-14 campaign.
They can just roll them and roll them.
Absolutely.
And roll them.
And they can attack from a lot of different angles, too. Nothing predictable about this Red Knight team.
Loose puck at center. Picked up by Olney. Olney trucking ahead. Drags back behind the goal. Olney looking for some support. He's going to get it from Fitzpatrick. Not quite in time as it's wrapped up to the right point. Alexander couldn't hold the line. He's got to retreat. Alexander now trying to keep it away from Caskey, I believe that is. Look at Caskey waste some time. Now they're full strength. Whoa! Caskey's stick was deposited all the way across the ice sheet. Sent all the way down. And we're going to have a whistle here. Back into the Rochester end. We have 5-on-5 action.
Yeah, we're back to a 5-on-5, as you said, Jim. Nice job by Caskey actually taking on the whole ensemble of the Eagles on the ice single-handedly. Really played good possession, used his body to protect the puck, and just burned time until they got to this 5-on-5. Wow.
Right off the draw, Noss with the issue, and the Red Knights lead 4-0.
Yeah, and I think Jungles redirected that. Sorry about that, Jim. I get a little chatty, but boy, that happened so quickly. But that's Jungles that scored that goal, and for Jungles, that's his first goal of this campaign. He's got 2 points in the game. He assisted on Noss's goal, so turnaround is fair play. Now it's a 4-0 advantage, 10:19 left in the second period. Boy, it just seems like Benilde dodged a huge bullet, and they gained some energy from that. But Rochester's is still competing. They're still out there mucking it up and trying awful hard, so they haven't lost anything. It's just Benilde St. Margaret's getting back up to par.
And the goal call there. Dropped down the far wall. Kept on the far perimeter. Issued. Heimold Centering, Risto couldn't get a shot off. He goes down, back to the point. Shot was blocked. Another shot is blocked. Now Risto issues to the right point. Shot, save, and able to cover up here is Jack Burkle.
Well, actually, Burkle did a good job. His defenders in front of him got in front of the shots, but sometimes when you get too many people in line, it looks like a military lineup. They're all in one area, so you kind of lose your positioning and spacing on that, but really they're challenging the shooter, which is what they need to do.
Puck in the corner. Red Knights on it. Centering feed. Risto could not get it to his forehand. To the point. Line held. Not for long. Brought the other way by Cassette, the captain for the Eagles. Cassette, offside. Zolny was a stride too quick on the near side.
Yeah, actually, I think it came down to good pressure on that, good challenge, and I think that was Nick Austin that actually stepped up. I'm not 100% sure, or that could have been Will Duda even, but they challenged at the blue line, forced him to cut. And I think that only, as you said, was just in over and Cassette, and they face off outside the zone. But pretty good challenge by Benilde at their blue line.
Couple of bodies go down on that far wall, right in front of the Rochester bench. Played in deeper. Here's Montana Street. Street was tripped up in the corner. Play will continue. Center onto the far wall. Meyer couldn't get to it. Big body thrown there, working in tight, net coming off the moorings, and that was Montana Street. And we're seeing this, the two Street brothers have had a lot of touches in this game for Rochester.
Yeah, and Montana Street showed some good hands, took the puck off the back wall, and really got it out front, put some good pressure on Long very, very quickly, but Long good side to side on that one, took away the high percentage scores, took away the lower part of the net, face off to Long's left. 9 minutes even, 4-0 Benilde St. Margaret's Rochester offensive zone face-off.
Brought the other way by Rue. He goes right side. Meyer shot. Just up and over the cage. May have hit a pipe.
Glove side upper again.
As the puck is back behind the goal, it's Rue. Rue spinning away from some purple bodies. Wrap around, just missing on the far side. Nick Austin. Shot was blocked. Loose, high slot. Back towards Newhouse. Newhouse issues to the point, unable to get it there. Brought the other way by Peter Alexander. Alexander sends it in, comes off for a change. Peeling it off the end wall is Nick Austin. Austin issues to center and sent in deep. Burkle leaving it behind his goal. And chipped ahead. Moore. Sims. And a body thrown at center. Nice play. That was Dakota Street with the shoulder. Shot, glove save, and holding on to this one is Jalen Long.
Well, the Eagles are doing a pretty good job of contesting. They've got some offensive zone time, making their line changes a little bit easier to manage, but they're getting some shots on goal. Not necessarily the shots that they want, but Benilde forcing everything to the outside. But again, at least they're getting offensive zone time and putting pressure on the junior goaltender for the Red Knights.
Line was held on the right point. Newhouse. Nice feed by Moore. And gathered here by the Rochester defense. Eagles dumped the puck in deep. Olney was tripped up by Nick Austin. Play continues. Sims plays it in front of his goal on accident. And brought the other way by Moore. Moore loses it at center. Big hit thrown there by Sims. Right in front of the Red Knight bench. Fans loving it. Here's Moore. Moore. Shot was blocked. Deflected to the corner. Sims. Back for Moore. Newhouse. Unable to hold on. A penalty here by Newhouse. He wrapped up his man and touched up here by Nick Austin. And a power play for the Eagles.
Yeah, in fact, and that's going to be Newhouse in the box again. He just got beat by half a stride and took his hand off the stick and wrapped it around the body. As you said, he's going to be flagged for another minor penalty just under 7 minutes. Rochester getting a chance to get back on the power play again with an offensive zone face-off, but you have to feel a little bit for Newhouse. He did, wrap him up by the definition of the penalty. It is a penalty. Keep the hands on the stick and just move your feet.
Yeah, he kind of stopped moving his feet, and that was the next reaction. So Rochester setting up here.
Nobody in front of the goal.
Fleming a chance to dump it, and that's what he does.
One thing you'll notice is the Eagles are so much around the periphery. Obviously, you have to work the puck inside, but you have to have an option or somebody at least close to the goal to make them defend. It'll give more space on the outsides.
Eagles on the attack. Montana Street held in the corner. Nick Austin trying to clear this one using his muscles. Controlled here by Montana Street. Montana for his brother Dakota. Dakota walks to the middle, issues right side. Back here with Montana. Shot, save, rebound, hop the stick of Nas.
Again?
Yeah. And back this way. Dakota Street, top of the umbrella for his brother Montana. Montana tried to swagger it through. That one hit a tire, comes back towards Montana. Angles to the corner, back for Montana. He tried to slide it through. And controlled in the far corner, flexed back this way. And Fleming trying to staple gun Montana Street in the corner as it hits the dasher, comes towards Dakota. Shot, far circle shot was blocked, and that one just missed. And here's Olney. Olney trying to leave it behind the cage, broken up. And the line was held.
Oh, wow.
Just barely by Dakota Street. And sent all the way down the ice.
Well, it seemed like the Eagles were getting their looks, getting in their opportunity, trying to be a little fine, trying to do a cross-ice pass between Spencer and Nas' skates is not really the call to order, but you have to like the creativity.
Centering feed just out of the reach of Olney's stick. And the Red Knights cleared all the way down the ice for a whistle with 4:46 to go in the second frame. It's a 4-0 lead for the Red Knights.
Well, have to be a little energy brought out of that power play by Lourdes. Lourdes did a really good job of possessing the puck and working and making the Red Knights defend. That's the positive that's going to take out of it, but they have to sustain it now in the waning moments of the second period. Some good positive energy. Now they just have to make sure they keep it up for the final 5 minutes and keep Benilde at bay.
Junior captain Newhouse unable to clear. Rochester making things look a little bit differently here in the middle frame, and a lot of that has to do with penalties to the Red Knights, and it was 3 in a row. Meanwhile, puck in front of the Red Knight bench. Meyer trying to work it down further. Loose puck back to the line, shot high, as Burkle may have got a piece of that one. Rue to the left point, Newhouse walking down the wall. Newhouse to the corner. Big body, it's the power forward. Meyer plays it off the goal, spins around the head official as it's wrapped back this way. Here's Newhouse. Newhouse pumps this one down the wall. Rue, tight space, trying to squeeze it through. Now to the right point. That's Callinger. Shot was blocked by Burkle. Wrap around Rue, kick save. Back there, controlled by the Red Knights again. Goal line, centering, unable to get that drive up. That was Kasky. Now to the right point, Callinger, goal line. Rue, Callinger couldn't control. He's got a recoil here as he'll issue it back this way. Newhouse angles it deep. Burkle slows it down behind his cage and sends it back up the near wall for Walston. Red Knights on the attack. Tripped up was Fleming. He'll send it around to the far side for Nas. Nas curls away from the checker Fitzpatrick. Fleming wrapped up in that far wall. Played down further by Jungles. Intercepted by Cassette. Cassette waltzing through center and plays that one to the corner. Nick Austin playing his man. Ooh. Trying to wrap it around his Cassette. No call on the play. Jungles this way for Fleming. Fleming pulls it to his backhand, couldn't get it through. And played back down the wall. Penalty here on Rochester. Fleming, center shot, just misses. Fleming with it here. Fleming, forehand, back to the right point, and a whistle. We have a trip on the purple and gold.
Yeah, indeed they do, but I don't know why they actually, Benilde St. Margaret's had possession of the puck. I don't know why that whistle was blown necessarily, but that was a trip. Benilde St. Margaret's putting good pressure on. That's what happens when you can move your feet and move the puck at the same time. You force them to reach. You force them into an area of discomfort, and this is the benefit of that. But it's going to be a 2-minute penalty for tripping. Just 2:22 left in the second period. Benilde St. Margaret's already up by 4. Now they're on a power play. And if history serves, it's about a 30 to 40% power play, as we said. But that's going to be Ben Walston, the junior defender for the Eagles, going to spend 2 minutes in the box.
Spencer Noss had a power play goal in the first period. And here are the Red Knights. Rue for Jungles. Jungles, Newhouse, back for Jungles. Pitch and catch, Newhouse. Right side, that's Noss. Noss. Back up top for Newhouse. Snapshot, save. Ooh. Working in tight on the goaltender. We didn't think we'd have a penalty here. I'm not sure. Lawton got in tight.
Yeah, he got a little feisty. And what Coach Paulie likes to do is he brought Jungles back on the point to kind of quarterback with Newhouse and puts Lawton, the big body, in front of the net trying to wreak havoc. Well, he was certainly trying to do his job, but the save was already made. So the extracurricular was a little bit more than I think they needed at that particular point. But Lawton is going to spend 2 minutes in the box. I don't know if it's going to be coincidental, or maybe they're just taking another long official timeout for something, but I think they're talking about it. But 1:42 left in the penalty to Walston, and if Benilde St. Margaret's took a penalty, it's going to make it 4-on-4, which really opens up the ice and doesn't make things easier for Rochester, but it makes it a little bit easier to manage. But boy, you give this Benilde St. Margaret team a little extra ice and they're going to work it pretty good. But kind of a bit of a lack of discipline on Jack Lawton, who usually plays a pretty disciplined game, but now it balances things out in the final 2:04 of this period. Minute 42 left of 4-on-4 hockey, barring another penalty, and then it's going to be Rochester on the power play for 20 or 18 seconds.
And it's been a rough go. It's first night for everybody, us included. And the scoring table on the far side has had a long night.
Yeah, they've really kind of got out of the gates a little slow, but again, I don't need any more excuses to talk, so I'm trying to govern myself to not be too chatty. But again, Rochester, I think this period of Jim, as long as we have a moment, I think Rochester, as this period is going on, they become stronger and stronger. And I think it's coming down to confidence and starting to get the feel that, hey, we can skate with these guys. Yes, we're down on the scoreboard, but we're going to play it as a 0-0 game. And they possess the puck. They've moved the puck out of their zone. They've had some speed through the neutral zone. They've even put some pressure on Jalen Long, the goaltender for Benilde, but they just haven't been able to tickle the twine. It looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties, which is a huge break, and I think Nick Roth, one of the big boppers on this team, is going to spend some time in the box. So it gets back to a man advantage for this Red Knight team. So boy, what a huge break for Benilde St. Margaret's for that to be coincidental. I thought Jack Lawton was the one that initiated it, but it's good that he actually they took both of them off. But still 5-on-4 for another minute and 42 seconds. 2:04 left in the period. As we said, Benilde up by 4.
Burkle has seen 36 pucks so far. Plenty of action coming his way.
That's a game for most, but
Yeah.
I think he's held up pretty well. There's been some very, very tough saves that he's had to make tonight, but it just seems like Benilde St. Margaret's is in love with that glove side upper corner. They keep going back and going back. They have had some success, but I think Burkle's kind of settled down a little bit and really kind of shut the door. I shouldn't have said that. I'll knock on wood for the young man.
Picked up quickly off the drive of Cassette. He tried to walk it out and could not. Sent all the way down the ice sheet by the other captain, Lars Anderson. Cassette, the first one in. He's going to try and eat this one. He's got a couple of Red Knights pulling it free. Montana Street, backhander just up and over the cage. Cassette in the near corner on the forecheck. And back behind the goal, here's Newhouse. Newhouse already has 4 shots tonight. Here comes Noss. Noss, shot, save, rebound, cleared all the way down the sheet.
Well, Burkle did a nice job of tracking with Spencer Noss. Once he gets to the dot, he takes that shot, but he squared up to the shooter and controlled the rebound. They cleared it. Good job.
Jungles from Fleming, shot and a save, and it's held on by Burkle.
And you see Burkle coming outside the blue a little bit now. He's gaining confidence. He's not so far back in his crease, really cutting off the shooting angles, and that's to his advantage. He's giving his team a chance. Held on to that one, face off to his right. Just 56 seconds left in the penalty to Walston.
Newhouse for Nass. Tried to swagger it to the wall. He was able to do so. Here's Rue. Rue keeping it away from Anderson. Gives to Nass. Back to the corner. Walking around the cage was Rue. Back towards Spencer Nass. Nass for Newhouse. Newhouse, left side. It's Jungles. Newhouse, big drive, kick save, loose in front. Nass shooting, another save. And Nass protecting, giving to Newhouse. Top of the umbrella. Newhouse shot, save, rebound. Jungles shot, another save by Burkle.
My word. Boy, Jungles had that one ticketed for the upper corner. Kind of a Dominic Hasek type save. Very vulnerable. Reached out with his extremities and made that save. But boy, does Spencer Nass have a set of major league hands. He can get rid of that puck in a hurry. He can dangle in traffic. And it being on the power play is right in his wheelhouse. But they keep trying to get it. But Jungles, what a great opportunity. But what a better save by Burkle.
Sent off the wall to the left point. Nick Austin unable to hold it.
That should do it.
Spencer Nass coming out the left side. The Red Knights captain, Nass, trucking north.
They didn't let him out of the box. He's still in the box.
I'm assuming it's something more than just the two-man, or the 2 minute.
Then they should have had somebody serving the penalty with them. This is kind of an elongated power play. Wow, I must be missing something on that one, but he was in the box for at least probably 17 seconds. It afforded him a little bit more. I might have been missing something, but if it was something beyond that, then it would be another player in the box to release to get it back to 5-on-5. So I don't profess to know what just happened, but it was a little unusual. How about that?
Yeah, it was an odd period. I mean, it just things slow down so much. I know we're in St. Louis Park, but things really slowed down in that second period.
Well, I know it's important to get the right call and to make sure everybody understands it, but there has to be a certain pace. And I think, as you said, I don't know if it really worked to an advantage, but it allowed Rochester initially to kind of ground themselves a little bit, get back to point. But then it just got to a point where there was too much conversation. I think it took a little away from the game. Not to point fingers at anybody, but I hope they're a little tighter next period. But again, 3-0 after the first. Now it's 4-0. They only gave up one goal that period, so things are looking better. If you're looking for kind of the everybody gets a medal kind of a deal, there is some good things. But Rochester Lourdes seemed to actually be a relevant player in the last 10, 12 minutes of that period and seemed to get better as things go. So I'm sure Coach Josh Spaniel will look for better things to come in this very next period. But it should actually be a good period. 4-0. Red Knights have the advantage.
And some excellent goaltending from Burkle, as Burkle has seen 40 pucks, I believe, as we update the point streak here. 42 shots on Burkle, and that's a game's worth.
And that's a lot of them were pretty good opportunities too. So, sometimes when you see 30 shots, maybe 7 or 8 were good quality scoring opportunities. I think the ratio is a little favors Benilde St. Margaret's, but I think Jack Burkle did an outstanding job of keeping it where it is, giving his team a chance.
We're going to step away for a couple of moments. Keep it here. BSMHockey.com. Welcome back, hockey fans. Great to have you with us as we're about to start the third period. Second intermission has come to a conclusion. It's a 4-0 lead for the Red Knights. We saw a much improved period from the Rochester Eagles.
Yeah, in fact, the more that they played and possessed the puck, it seemed like the more confidence they get. The more confidence they get, a little bit more energy, a little bit more sense of purpose. Just to take you through a quick summary of scoring so far. First period, 10:32, Mark Spencer Noss from Jungles and Rue on the power play. 11:18, Meyer from Rue. 13:32, it was homers from Meyer. And then in the second period, it was Jungles from Nosh at about the 10-minute mark. So that's where we stand right now, 4-0. A couple multi-point games. Meyer with a goal and an assist. Rue with two assists. And Jungles with a couple points. Noss with a couple points. So everybody getting involved in the scoring on that side of the ledger. But look for a good inspired period out of the Eagles this third period.
Eagles going right to left. We're underway. Olney checked in front of his bench. Played on to center. Cassette with a small area pass for Fitzpatrick. Puck goes to the corner. Austin wraps it around. And here comes Newhouse. He'll jump into the play. Newhouse down the left side. Newhouse centers. And Meyer did not have the angle. Trying to hold the line there was Kasky. Now Meyer sauces that one across. Newhouse angled deeper. Puck was intercepted and sent ahead for Olney. Olney issues to center. Here comes Fitzpatrick. He comes in wide. Tries to center. That's knocked away. And a penalty here on the Eagles.
Boy, that was a bit of a delayed call. In fact, it took him a moment to relish a little bit, but Connor Fitzpatrick, the one that spearheaded that rush, tried to get the pass over, followed up, and I think they're going to get him for a trip. Puts him behind the 8 ball, 16:09 left in regulation time. Benilde St. Margaret's up by 4. Now Rochester, Lourdes Eagles are on the penalty kill once again. They're going to have to weather this storm. Really what you wanted to do initially is break it down into segments. You're not going to get 4 goals in 5 minutes against this team, but you take it in 4-minute segments. But, boy, they put the challenge in front of them now, being a man down.
Rue for Noss. Noss off the near wall. Goal line. Back up top with Noss. Now it's Newhouse, top of the umbrella. Newhouse shot blocked in front. And play to the far wall. Noss gives to Newhouse. Newhouse cock fires. That one goes to the corner. Noss trying to work it down lower. A chance to clear. Foot race. Jungles plays the body and pulls the puck out of the corner. Newhouse fakes the wrister, gives to Noss. Noss snapshot. He scores. Spencer Noss.
Well, really, Newhouse was the one that really made that play happen. Newhouse took a couple shots with no intention of scoring, just getting it on and getting it past the back line. And what it did, it softened them up a little bit. Once Newhouse got it, they expected shot again, softened up their coverage, left Spencer Noss on the right wing side just on top of the faceoff dot. And I think he beat him 5-0 pretty clean on that one. But, boy, Spencer Noss, when he gets the puck in that area, he's going to get it on goal, and he's going to succeed more often than not. But that's Noss's third point of the game, second goal of the game as well. But, boy, what great work by Newhouse on that one. Very heady play.
Played in deep. Here's Nick Austin. Austin wraps it around to the far wall. Heimold. Gloves to the corner.
Fleming might have got some lumber on that one, so it might have been tipped on that one. It could have been Fleming from Noss and Newhouse.
Nick Austin's shot was blocked. Heimold tried to play it back to the point. And Benilde running a regroup here. Puck to center. Now into the Rochester end. Centering feed deflected to the high slot. And Rochester skating through center. Here comes Saltness into the Red Knights end. Wrapped around on the far point, unable to hold it, was Peter Alexander. Here's Dakota Street for Saltness. And deflected back towards the defense. Lars Anderson up the middle. Picked up here by Newhouse. Newhouse down the near wall. Newhouse center, shot just over the cage. It was Rue who was the shooter. And kicked back to center ice and a regroup here for the Red Knights. Callinger Wrists this one in deep. Montana Street gets it to center. Newhouse up the middle. Trying to get Rue was Meyer. Meyer feeds it ahead. Trying to pull Q to the corner was Rue. Dakota Street sends it up the wall for Montana. Ooh. Eagles offside. They have to tag up here. And a whistle and a face-off here at neutral.
Well, they were coming through the neutral zone with speed and numbers. The puck just got held up a little bit. They couldn't check themselves up. So, as you said, Jim, face-off outside the zone, offside. 13:32 left in regulation time. But I'll say Margaret's with a very comfortable 5-0 lead right now. And it seems like they're playing very poised and very focused, even though they're up by 5. And that's what Coach Pauly wants, is just a 3-period game out of these guys. They have a tendency to get up by a bunch and change their style of play a little bit. They haven't done that tonight. They've really been very consistent. I think that's a good sign for the Red Knights.
Sims plays back behind his goal. Newhouse. Fed to center. Here's Moore. Moore. Here's a 2-on-1. Moore for Sims. And he couldn't get the tip. Couldn't get any tape on it. And sends off the glass to neutral. Sims turns the puck over. Olney trying to squeeze it through and bring it to the front. He could not. And here come the Red Knights. Holmers down the left side. Holmers turns the puck over. And the Eagles try and pass through center. Adamson couldn't quite control that one. And out of his net to stop it behind is Jalen Long. Picked up by Fleming. Fleming slides through center, gives right side for Jungles. Dakota Street taken out of the play by Fleming. Now to the right point, Nick Austin. Shot just over the cage as Newhouse was the shooter. Nick Austin, nice feed for Nass. Nass gathers through center. He was checked by Dakota Street. He's still moving north. Nass tried to center, deflected towards the near wall. Nass was tripped up in the play as it continues. Sent around to the far side, Newhouse. Goal line. Back to the line, Nick Austin scores! Nick Austin! 6-0 Red Knights.
That was a good shot by Austin. He knew where he wanted to go, but really a good feed by Evan Fleming. Great shift by Fleming. Showed some good speed through the neutrals. Got the neutral zone, got the puck deep. That's where it all started. But got it back to Nick Austin, his first goal of the year, but beat him clean glove side. Just a good look on that, but he got rewarded. He's played a pretty strong game tonight. It's nice to see he got rewarded for all that hard work, but that's Nick Austin's first goal of the game, first goal of the season. I know Fleming got the initial assist.
Risto back onto the sheet for the Red Knights. Risto centers, gets it back, tries to squeeze it through. And here's Heimold. Heimold back to the front. Caskey couldn't control. Check that, that's Duda. Duda throwing a shoulder. Montana Street, check from behind on the play. Oh no. Montana Street is okay, most important.
Oh, indeed. In fact, that he got up pretty quickly, but not a great penalty to take at this juncture. You really want to take care of your goaltender and really kind of keep them off the power play. But the goal officially was Nick Austin from Fleming and Newhouse. Newhouse has been a house of fire. I couldn't resist it. I couldn't get away from it, actually, but he really changed the dynamic. But we're going to get a look at that right here. And you can see he squared up to the boards. Obviously, it's a check from behind. Didn't hit him hard, not malicious in intent, but to the letter of the rule book, that is going to be a penalty. And I don't know how they're going to do it, whether it's just going to be a roughing penalty or something where it's just a minor penalty. But again, discipline is the call to order for this Benilde St. Margaret team. And just a little bit of a lack of judgment on that part is going to put them in the box. But what you want to do when it's a 6-0 game is you want to take care of your goaltender. You want to stay out of the penalty box. You want to clear the sight lines and really protect that cipher on the board. We're going to look at this on replay right now. It's going to happen right in front of the penalty box, so it wasn't a real long trip, but you'll see it wasn't that significant. He already got rid of the puck, and again, not malicious in intent. Again, Jack Lawton is not a dirty player. He's got a little feistiness about him, but again, he's going to spend 2 minutes in the box. But what a great opportunity for the Eagles.
We're going to keep it at 2 minutes, and that is check that. That is significant.
Indeed.
Back this way, shot, kick,
There it
save,
is.
rebound, another save, and to the point. Roth controlling in the near corner. Last shot came from Peter Alexander, the sophomore. And sent all the way down into the Rochester end. Back behind his goal. That's Peter Alexander. Alexander goes right side. Olney trucking ahead. He's got to deal with Newhouse. Montana Street for Dakota Street. Back to Montana. The Streets go side to side. Back this way. Rebound. Oh, big body there by Rude. Did not have his twig, but still issued the hit.
Oh, great effort.
I don't know how Dakota Street just held that line.
He used every inch of his reach to hold that one in.
Dakota Street up the middle. Uh-oh, here's Nas.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Nas. Oh, he tried to pull it through and could not. And the Eagles with 40 seconds, or check that. Yes, the Eagles here with 40 seconds left on the power play, down to 35 and cleared.
And Benilde being very cautious in their approach, very conservative, not really pressuring the puck until it gets into the neutral zone. They'll let them dawdle in their own zone and watch the clock tick off. Now the pressure comes now that they approach the blue line. Good angle on that one by Fleming.
Yeah, Fleming read Cassette right into the wall just by playing his angle. Ooh, turnover at center. Here's Meyer. Meyer with a shifty move. Here comes Meyer. Meyer dropping. Shot just missing. Meyer trying to work it back in front. And now the Eagles are right back on it. And they'll exit heading right to left. Here come the Eagles. Back to the corner only. Shallow angle drive hits the pad and goes behind the cage. Back the other way comes Heimold. Heimold for Fleming. And brought the other way quickly by Alexander. Peter Alexander just over the wall trying to keep it away from Heimold as Heimold plays behind the cage. Lawton shifted ahead for Meyer. Meyer trying to twig it past the defense. Nick Austin trying to work it to the front. And Alexander able to get it to neutral for the Eagles. Nick Austin able to find Rue. Rue tried to get Jungles. And played in on the backhand by a player that goes by the name of Ryan Saltness. Nick Austin with the long feed. Icing. 6:49 to go in the third period. Ticking time with the 6-goal lead, so they're going to run it.
No, absolutely. In fact, I think Josh Spaniel, coach of this Eagle team, has to be at least a little encouraged. You know, you get down by 3 goals, but from that point on, his team has played pretty well. A couple really good shots. Hard to defend against those. But I think overall, I think this Rochester team came to play tonight. Their level of compete hasn't wavered. Good, hard-working team. That's a good sign for Coach Spaniel.
Red Knights send it in. Sims is out in front of the net, the tallest player on the ice sheet tonight, as it's picked up by Dakota Street. Street shadowed by Sims, centering. Oh, it was loose. Back to the front. Oh, Montana Street almost had a tip on that one. We're going to have coincidental penalties. It's going to be Moore and Montana Street, and I don't think it'll affect play.
No, and I think you're right. I think we'll still be 5-on-5 on that one. But again, good to take them both off. And time is ticking away. But really a good opportunity for the Eagles on that one. That one just flirted with the goalpost, went through the blue completely. But again, when Jalen Long has his good positioning, that might have been all that he gave him. So he's really played a terrific game tonight. But it looks like there's only a Benilde St. Margaret Red Knight in the box. So it looks like a power play for Rochester.
And it was Newhouse, and I don't even know what he did. I don't think Newhouse was in the initial infraction.
No.
Either way, it's a power play for the Eagles.
Well, I guess the benefit is for Rochester is that Newhouse is in the box. He's been awful effective today.
47 shots on goal for the Red Knights.
Holding was the penalty.
Nick Austin was able to clear as far as center. And here at center, it's only, trying to stretch it ahead. And here comes Nas. It's a 1-on-2. Nas coming in wide. Nas shot save. And it's going to be held on here by Burkle.
One thing that's kind of fun to watch as far as Spencer Nas is he has good wheels. He's got very good hands. Plus, he's got a little bit of feistiness about his game. He doesn't shy away from contact. In fact, he welcomes it, and he uses his body to protect the puck quite well. But he's had probably about 7 or 8 pretty good looks at the net tonight. He's actually netted 2 so far, but not from lack of effort, that's for sure. Spencer Nas, really one of the premier players in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's one of the things I like watching about Spencer Nas is he plays both sides of the puck. He's a very responsible guy, and like you said, he'll issue his weight. He'll huck it around a little bit, and that's what they like at the next level, and Nas will succeed at that next level.
I absolutely agree. Not only that, but at this level, they give him a little bit more room to move, so you're kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't. But Spencer Nas, he's just a fun player to watch.
Here come the Red Knights. It's a 2-on-1 shot, save, rebound. Burkle makes another. And it's going to be a big logjam on the crew. Somewhere under the pile is Burkle. And 3.5 left in the third period and ticking.
Yeah, that's one thing Benil does is they go to the net with a little fire. But really, you have to block them out. If they get behind you, pushing them into your goaltender means that you're not in the proper position. You have to block them out. Keep yourself between the puck and the goal in your own zone is a good rule of thumb, and that means keep yourself between the offensive player closing in on your goaltender as well. But Benil St. Margaret's is like a bull rush to the net. Very hard to defend.
5-on-5 action. Newhouse is back, or he's out of the penalty box, I should say. They're going to toss Heimold from the draw. Jungles is going to take it, and he's going to win it. Here's Will Duda. Tried to work it back for Jungles. Puck at center, Nick Austin. Winds it in deep. It's Dakota Street coming out the right side. Nice feed by Street. And the Eagles still having a hard time on the exit. Heimold. The hybrid forward D-man, he plays it all. He dumps it in. And Dakota Street having some trouble in the corner. And a penalty there on Street. And not his proudest moment.
No, in fact, we're just over 2 minutes by the time they drop the puck. It'll probably be shorthanded for the remainder of the game. But when you talk about Dakota Street, he's played a very solid game tonight. Puck just got under his feet, kind of lost sight of it, and used a stick to try to impede the progress of the Benilde St. Margaret. So subsequently, he's going to spend 2 minutes in the box. And we're down under 2 minutes now. Benilde St. Margaret's a little slow on the line change, which is not a big deal at this point. But again, they're trying to protect that cipher on the scoreboard as far as Benilde St. Margaret's, but they're going to keep doing that through offense and getting their chances.
Puck on the left point. Now right side, Nick Austin back up top. Here's Lawton. Lawton tried to work it in tight on the goal line. Nick Austin tried to knock that one out of midair. He didn't get all of it. He turns it over here. Cassette plays to the corner, and let's watch him try and eat it. Couldn't quite corral it. On to center. Played right back in by the Eagles. Down to a minute 10, or check that, a minute 15. And Lawton plays through center. Drop for Moore. Moore around the cage. Swaggers to the far point. Pulling this one back and shooting. Rebound to the near corner. Goal line extended. That was Risto. Risto for Nick Austin across. Big drive was blocked and cleared by the Eagles all the way down. This one's on net.
Well, Burkle has seen his share of shots tonight, obviously. I'm very impressed with the way that he directs the rebounds. That one went into the corner, and if a goaltender can do that, obviously it's going to make things easier on his defensive core.
It's a 3-on-2. Moore feeds it ahead. Kasky, left side. Moore, centering shot. Rebound just wide of the cage. Another shot was blocked. Kasky was the shooter. Moore battling near wall. And cleared back to center. Just 15 seconds. Maybe one more rush here. Here's Callinger. Callinger entering the Rochester end. Trying to give to Meyer. And that's pretty much going to do it. So a solid debut here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center for this Red Knight club, and they get the 6-0 win.
Yeah, the Big Boppers came to play tonight. Really a good team game by this Red Knight squad. But how about Jalen Long, first high school varsity game in goal, gets a shutout, 6-0. Really a good effort by Benilde St. Margaret's, but I have to, admit that I didn't know what to expect from this Rochester team. They graduated a lot of high-profile offensive talent. Defense is his strength. A 6-0 game, hard to find too many positives about defense, but I think that there were some positives involved in the Eagles' play tonight. They kept things to the outside. Yes, they gave a couple looks in tight, but I think overall they played better as the game went on. But coming into the St. Louis Park Rec Center and playing against the Benilde St. Margaret Red Knights in the opening game of the season is a very tall order. I think that they probably could have had a little bit more proficiency in the offensive zone, but I think neutral zone, Benilde St. Margaret's just controlled the neutral zone axis. Just so many things that were done well by Benilde St. Margaret's really made it difficult for the Eagles to challenge, but they did show a lot of character in this game and competed till the final buzzer. But good things to come from this Eagles squad. I think Josh Spaniel, the coach of this Eagles squad, has some good things to look forward to, and they are going to be a power in the Class A ranks.
So a dub for the Red Knights, and that's pretty much going to do it here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. A big thanks to Pete Wagner for making this possible, and a big thanks to Sid Thompson, Halverson at the controls, making all this possible, folks. Bart Archer, myself.
Here, Jim.
It was a good time. We're going to keep it going throughout the season.
Oh, indeed. Looking forward to it. It's kind of nice to get out of the gate initially. I know that you've been at this for a long time, even this year, calling the Magicians games and such. So check that out if you can. You do a wonderful job, Jim. It was a pleasure to be here with you, and I look forward to calling games with you in the future.